Hey everyone, welcome back to the Automotive Logistics and Supply Chain Red Sofa. I'm here with Chris Stiles, VP of Supply Chain Management for Nissan North America. And Chris, we're going to be talking on stage about talent requirements in Mexico. And now, talent is one of the biggest topics that have come up here over the last few days, whether it's on retention, recruitment, skills development. What would you outline as some of the most critical needs for Nissan and the industry here in Mexico?
Well, thanks for having me, Chris. I think first of all, it's the message that the automotive industry has changed, right? It's not the old school of smelly factories and smoky, work and all that stuff. There's a lot of technology that's involved, and I'm going to share some of that later, that we really need talent that is adaptive to the technology. We need talent that knows how to work in technology. They're interested in working in technology and really kind of bring to the forefront, the future of what it needs to look like when it runs, whether it's an automotive factory, it's supply chain, it's, even all the way down to the drivers and the workers in the warehouses. So, yeah.
Yeah, so as you say, shop floor right through to the engineers and managers. As you mentioned, the industry has transformed. It's also been through a lot of disruption, not just Mexico, but Mexico certainly, at the coalface of a lot of that. Has that made it more difficult in any way to find and retain talent?
I don't know that it's made it more difficult. I think it's the messaging that we have to continue to provide to the talent that's out there. So to the younger workforce, the folks that are coming from the universities, but not just the universities, even the folks that, maybe don't have the university path. They may have more of a technical path or something like that. It's really what is it that we're offering for them to have from, building their own livelihood standpoint that's interesting to them. They want to come do it every day, and they want to see that it's not just the normal kind of day-to-day grind of what they may assume it is. So.
And if anything, it's a certain mindset we need to distill in supply chain management, logistics, problem solving. It's as you say, not a 9 to 5 per se. Are factors such as supply chain disruption and rising costs putting more focus on how teams in Mexico can maximize digitalization, automation? You alluded already to the fact that they need to adapt to technology.
Yeah, I mean, the automation, digitalization, all that is coming. It's already here. So it's a matter of, they understand that that's what's next, and then they want to work in that. So I think that it's interesting, as you said, it's day to day. I always tell my team, if you want to work in supply chain, you better like puzzles, because every day is problem solving. Every day is a puzzle. So if you enjoy that kind of challenge and it's rewarding, then I think it's the right message for those folks that want to do it. So.
I think, especially for Nissan, Mexico is a strategic hub. It's not just a low-cost center, so to say. And we see it across the industry that the industry is advancing, and it needs advanced supply chain and logistics. So what needs to happen to ensure that Mexico remains and retains its status or increases its status as an advanced logistics center for Nissan?
Well, I think obviously geographically, it's a huge selling point, and we've been in Mexico, for many decades now at this point. So it's a matter of continuing to advance as far as what our infrastructure, our footprint is going to be here, and we keep investing in that infrastructure here in Mexico. I think it shows that we see the importance of Mexico to our global really kind of market that we provide. We export, to 100 different countries out of Mexico. So I think it just will continue to show that, that Mexico really has the right spot to support it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And then again, looking the years ahead, Nissan has already committed quite a lot of investment to Mexico in terms of its products and its production. But again, as we've alluded to, it's faced challenges and disruption. So what are some of the main priorities for you in leading SCM across the region to improve and prioritize in Mexico?
I think, again, we talk about it a lot, infrastructure, understanding what are the infrastructure challenges, working with the logistics providers on their infrastructures so that they can support our needs, not just us, obviously the other OEMs and the supply base. I think as we continue to see what's coming, that we continue to have those discussions with the partners on, okay, what do they need to be investing in, and what are their assurances that they see from us that, yes, Nissan is going to be here for the long term. The other OEMs are going to be here for the long term. Therefore, it makes sense for them to continue investing and doing what they're doing. So.
Absolutely, Chris. Well, listen, thanks so much for sharing some of these thoughts with us, and especially to our audience here and our audience here in Mexico on the talent question, because it's so vital. Thanks so much for continuing to follow us here. We'll be sharing even more from Automotive Logistics Supply Chain Mexico and the Red Sofa. Thanks very much.